Hello my friends, welcome back to Melanie Smith Stamps. I am Melanie and today we're diving into a little bit of watercolor education and just sharing the different types of watercolor mediums, at least a little bit, as I am not a watercolor expert, but I am going to do a little bit of watercoloring today, and I just thought I would throw out there the different types of mediums that I am familiar with, and then I'm going to show you a way that you can watercolor without even having to purchase any of these. So you can watercolor today anything that you already have with something I bet you already have in your stash without purchasing anything. So let me just run all these ideas by you just so you can see the difference in the different mediums of watercolor, and then I'm going to show you how we can do it with something you already have. But when it comes to coloring, I always say practice with what you have, and if you decide you like it, then you can invest in the other things, the bells, the whistles, all of that jazz. So let me show you a few of these different things that I have. There's actually one of the items here I haven't even tried yet, but today we're going to do it the easy way. So let me just start with the traditional, which is probably a traditional pan, which is a package of watercolors that probably come like this. It may even be something similar to the Crayola strip that you had in kindergarten. This is just mini ones. This is a travel set actually that I have. And this is Koi by Sakura. This is one I actually got on Amazon. I think Spellbinders also sells it, but I think I picked up mine on Amazon, which was a little cheaper. And I have played with it a couple times, and I do actually like the control of this. You can make your own colors, and just by adding like your white to lighten it, your black to darken it, or if you want, you know, a different color of orange, you can add a little yellow to the orange, and you can change your colors, which is really nice. This is probably the middle of the road, great starting place, and kind of in the middle range of price point. This is one medium of watercolors, and that is a pan set. This is also a pan. This is an Altenew. This is a metallic pan. Now they have actually metallics and regular pans at Altenew. This one I haven't played with all that much. I've done a background with it, and you can tell I haven't used it that much. But you can actually also use this for splatter. I've seen a lot of people use this for gold and metallic splatters on their backgrounds. So that is something I'd actually like to do. But they're just so pretty to look at. And they go 50% off a lot. So that is something that's right up my alley. But I love these. And I actually did a background in this color scheme right here is when I did my background, and I have used the gold right here and colored with it as well. They're very pretty, and I love the tin that they come in. So that is also a pan style. Then you have markers. These are watercolor markers. Now you can get these in all brands. These are Artistry by Altenew, but you can get these in all brands. I have a liquid watercolor here, and I have the marker watercolor here. Liquid watercolor also comes in all brands. This is Karen Pro Marker, a brush Pro Marker, which is a liquid, but it's in a pen form. Let me see if I can get that so you can see it. It's a very fine tip pen, but you actually would write, you could touch it, but you can write it here and use it straight off your table. That's how I like to use them. And we'll probably use a little bit of everything today. So I'll probably mix and match a little bit of different ones today. But I'm going to show you the easiest one, which is the one you have in your stash. But that is one that you can use as well. This is the Karen brush markers. These are on the higher price point, and especially the big box, which is this one right here. Very pricey, but high quality. So that is that one. And these here are very low price point. You can usually get 4 of these for like, gosh, when they go on sale, like $20 or $30, and you can get all 4 packs. And let me show you. Let's see, that's a turquoise. Let me show you here. So it's very similar, but I'm not sure about how long this lasts, whereas this is filled with liquid. So I'm not sure, you know, how long these ones will last. But for the price point, it's a great way to practice with markers. Plus, all the colors are gorgeous. Okay, so let me just clean that up real quick. All right, then you have watercolor tubes, which are these right here. And you can get these from many different brands. These are Artistry by Altenew. But I just got these, and I have not played with these yet. But these are like your typical artists' watercolors, and they're in the little tubes. And these you would put a dollop down there, use the water in it, and then color straight to paper with your water, with your paintbrush. Before we jump into today's project, I also want to go over a couple other little things for watercoloring. You want to make sure you have a nice brush set. They come in various different qualities. I do like this one just because I like the case. You can get these on, you can get them at Amazon also. This is the Altenew set that I have here. It's actually 2 sets. The set that comes in this black case is actually this set here, which includes the background brush, but it includes the round brushes that have the larger ends on them. And then this is their extra set, and I don't have all the brushes here. There's more of them in this set. But this is the other set, and it has the smaller brushes. It's actually, I think that goes, nope, that one goes with that one. It's the smaller ends, and this set is actually, it's like 5 of them. But this set is actually, they're fine tip ones. And I've just put multiple ones in the same case, so I have a variety here to pick from when I'm working. I just like to have the case close to my desk, so I have a variety of brushes to work from when I'm crafting. Then you have the option of using a water brush. You can use one of these water brushes, and they have different tips on them as well. And for these, it's quite convenient because you can take your, that's actually a really light one, but you can, let me get a darker one so you can see what I'm doing here. You can take your paint, and you can just get a little bit of water, pick up your paint, and then color. And you've already got the water here, so you can blend it and move it around on your paper. So that is very easy and makes it kind of foolproof. So it makes it more enjoyable to me because it makes it easier. Just my 2 cents, guys. Remember, I'm not a pro at this. I'm just showing you things that I love. And the last item of watercolor I wanted to show you is watercolor pencils. Now, watercolor pencils, you can also get them, these are actually Tim Holtz, but you can get them in many brands, and they are just like it sounds. They're a pencil. You can color them direct to paper, and then you can take your water brush and actually add water to it. Or you can take your water brush and actually pick up pigment straight from the pencil and then go straight to paper. So you have lots of different options. And with the pencil, there's lots of control. So you don't have like lots of pigment going you know, like you would in a pan. You have more, usually you have to get the pan wet and you have more liquid. So this gives you a little control, especially if you're a beginner. So I do love this, especially on a day that I want to color, but I don't want to have to think about it. I love this option because sometimes I just want clean and simple, easy coloring. And this is my go-to. So they have watercolor pencils in Altenew. They have them in Tim Holtz. They have them in other brands on Amazon. They would have other brands, but the Altenew and the Tim Holtz are the only ones I've actually used and can stand behind. So those are the ones that I use and love. Let me get my little lids on back on here. That one has the pigment still on it, so I will just wash that pigment right out of there, and you'll get your tip clean again. And you can tell it's clean because you can just wipe that water out and it will come clean and be clear water. Then I'll grab my paper towel and just blot that up. Put these back in here. Okay, and the last thing for watercoloring that I'd like to bring up is paper. It's very important to have watercolor paper. And watercolor paper a lot of time is textured. Sometimes, especially hot press paper, is not as textured. So if you don't like the texture, you can go either on the back side of your watercolor paper or you can go to hot press watercolor paper. So sometimes I do like to do the no texture, but a lot of the effects and stuff, people like the texture when they're watercoloring. So it's totally personal preference. Now, something like this here, you can mix your colors. If you're like using a pan and you're coloring and you're changing your colors, you can also get like a palette. It's just a plastic piece that you can make and do your colors on if these are too big of a well, or you can just use your glass mat. Now I have a glass mat from LDRS Creative. It has a gorgeous floral border that you can't see in the picture right now, but it is like my pride and joy. It makes me happy because it's so pretty, but I do have a 15% discount for that if you're interested. So anyways, so let's jump in to the main thing that you already have in your stash that you could color with today. The reason I like this is because A, you don't have to go purchase anything today, and B, because there's so many colors. You can find any color that you need, most likely, if you're anything like me. And I say that because I love ink. And ink is readily available in my craft room. I don't know about you, but I stamp and I ink blend. And I do a lot of crafty stuff like that on my cards. And if you are anything like me, you have some ink pads in your stash. Now, these are dye-based ink, which means they're water-based. And water-based means watercolor. So all you have to do is take your water-based ink, go like that, and it's just like taking this pen and writing it on your desk or on your palette. And you can watercolor straight from that to your paper. And that's what we're going to start with today. Now, I have just grabbed these from my stash and I wanted to see what they look like. That right there looks like Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. There we go, Honey Drizzle. So this one looks like Tigger, and I don't know if Tigger's on our picture today. I wanted to see if that one would look like Piglet. I don't know if that one looks like Piglet or not. That might not be pink enough. But that's what these two would work. That's definitely going to work for Pooh. So that's where we're going with this. And get our Mighty Mister. Something else you might want to grab if you don't have one of these. This is very inexpensive. $6, I think. I would definitely recommend that. Doesn't break the bank. And it's very affordable. and it's something I use all the time, especially when I watercolor. Watercolor and 3D embossing folders. Both really, really good. So I've got 2 of them here actually. And let's go ahead and watercolor. How about we do this one? Just for our example purposes, we'll go ahead and start with Pooh because I know this color is perfect for him. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. And let's just use, let's see, that's a tiny space. So let me go ahead and use my my real brushes here, because I want to use a small tip instead of a big tip. So I do have some water, but you could also spray water right here and use it just the same. I actually might do that for my clean water because that's going to end up getting dirty. So just put your brush right down in the water and come direct to paper. And we can just color Pooh right in. And just take your time and just color him in like so. It's a little darker down here maybe. Add some layers in his shadow area. And I actually went right here where it's more pigmented, where the ink pad was more pigmented, to get that darker area. Look at there. Doesn't that look great? It already looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse that so I can get back to the lighter. Make sure there's not too much water on there. You don't want too much water because then you'll get out of control. Let's go ahead and just paint him in the rest of the way. A little light back here, so we might add another layer there. I love the way his head turned out. And just pick up a little more if you need it. Put a little water there. I don't want it to drip on my paper. And there we go. I'm going to get a little bit of this dark. Might need some water. A little bit of dark. Put some shadow in here. Just layer that up right there. We're going to just add some extra layers because this is kind of light. I'm just going to add a little bit of layer and just cover his booty. Cover his Pooh booty. And I'm going to add just a little bit of that dark right under his shoulder. Maybe a little bit more water. Did I get it? Haha. There we go. A little bit of dark for his shadowing. Under his shirt. And along his body and under his shirt, or under his sleeve. And then under his rump. There you go. And look at that, all from an ink pad. All right. There is little Pooh, all from your ink pad. Isn't that simple? Alrighty. So that was Honey Drizzle, perfect color for Pooh. So let's see. Let's do a Piglet color. How about we pull a marker? Let's see what this marker is. Soft peach. I'm trying to find a pink. Pale pink. Oh, that looks good. Okay, pale pink it is. Let's make sure our brush is clean. Okay. Pale pink. And then we'll give Piglet a pink. Look how cute he is. And he is so small, I am not going to worry about any type of shading because he's so tiny and he's got an outfit on. So we'll just leave his pink like that. Then we'll grab some red for Pooh shirt. I keep hearing him say, "Silly old bear, silly old bear." Okay, let that dry just for a second. All right, how about we do a little of the tree here? We'll just start with a light brown. We can always darken it up. Figure we can always make things darker. You can't lighten them, you know? Well, you can, but it's hard. It's easier to add than to take away. You can take away the watercolor though by getting it wet and actually removing it with a paper towel. You just blot it up, and sometimes you can remove quite a lot. So keep that in the back of your mind for trying to fix errors. Hopefully we won't have to even attempt that today, knock on wood. Speaking of wood, it looks kind of like a blustery day. Don't you think it looks like a blustery day? I think I'm going to grab a piece of paper from the collection and see about coordinating some of these greens and stuff with it so that we can make sure we match something in the collection for the background. Here is the paper collection, and I'm thinking maybe we need to make sure, maybe Pooh's shirt needs to be this red, or that might be a good background. So we want this to coordinate with this. So I'm thinking I need to go darker with this red and almost lighter with this pink because the pink is kind of in here. So I need to lighten this pink. So let me show you how to do that. Let me first of all lighten the pink. So what I'm going to do, take some clean water, oops, and touch Piglet's face like so. Then get a clean piece of paper towel and just lighten it, so like that. You're just taking some pigment out of the watercolor paper, like so. Okay, so I've lightened Piglet up a little bit, and if you look, well, you can't really see, but he's a lot lighter, so now he matches. He was pretty dark. So now I'm gonna darken this red now. Let's see if I can find a little bit of a darker red. Well, lipstick red, is that darker? Ooh, not that one. Whew. Not that one. That's a fluorescent. This is red. Okay, I'm going to try this one first. It's lighter. Okay. Then I might go in with a little bit of this one. And just darken up those shadows a little bit. That'll work. Okay. So that will make it look much more like the paper. All right, so I'm going to keep that out just to make sure it coordinates with our painting. So now let's go ahead and do some grass here. Go ahead and get some green going on. And it looks like I got some pink up here, so get that pink out of there. Okay. So we'll put, oh, that green is light. That is light. I think I had too much water on my brush. Maybe not enough water on my brush. It's all trial and error, guys. So you just gotta trial and error and see where you're at. So now we kind of have to guess to decide, like, where else do we want greenery? Do we want the road to be green? Do we want it to be brown? This is your artwork. So you just kind of have to go with the flow and decide where. I need a little bit more water. And it probably would be better if I had a little bit bigger of a brush. Let me grab one of those water brushes that I had. Get the medium tip. Let's see. That probably would work. There, see? I can transfer over to this now because I've got those little tiny details done. So I can transfer over to this and just kind of fill that in. See how easy that is? I'm thinking I want kind of this back here. Maybe. And how about we go with this also? And like this. All right, and we'll put a little bit up here too, just to give a hint of a little color up here. Not much, just a little. All right, so then how about we take this sand dune, clear that all off. See how the glass mat just is awesome? I'm gonna go ahead and make sure this brush is clean. I just squeezed out some of the water and made sure my tip is clean. Then I'm gonna put down this next color, which is sand dune. And I thought we'd do the trail that they're walking along here together, because remember they're in the 100-acre woods. They're walking along the woods. So we'll just kind of meander the trail right in here. And we'll just have it come back this way. I like how soft that is. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and fill this in with green. I think I'll like that. I like the curve of that. So I think I'm going to do the rest of this in green, and then we'll come in and put some blue up there. Kind of liking this, the way it's going. Clean out that brush. Okay, let me go back with the firefly. One more time. I'll go ahead and fill in this in here. Go. Okay, I'm liking that. This is not quite dark enough up here for me. Alright, bring it a little closer to you so you can see where we're at. Just a soft, soft watercolor. Go ahead and clear that off, and then let's get some blue. We'll do the sea glass. The sea glass, I think, is more of a turquoisey blue, kind of this color that's in the paper. So let's just start up here and drag it down. And you know, if we kind of miss it, you know, like kind of have it dark in some places and not as much on the others, it'll look like clouds. Let's see if that works. Yeah. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I think that's adorable. Adorable. Okay, guys, I am going to cut this down and put it into a finished card, and I will show it here to you momentarily. I hope you have enjoyed this whimsical and heartwarming card design. I have thoroughly enjoyed sharing it with you, and I hope it has inspired you to get out those ink pads and water brush or paintbrush and stamp out or Betterpress an image and just have fun. I challenge you to get out the ink pad, try it for yourself, pop on over to Craft Life Together with Spellbinders and More Facebook group, and come share your project with me. I would absolutely love for you to craft life with me over on Facebook. See you in the next video. Bye-bye, my friends.